Let's watch it.
Is there a memory that stands out to you right now in this moment? Oh,
I mean, probably equal pay chance after the final. And I think, they were saying equal pay, but could have been saying a lot of things. I think this team has always fought for so much more, and that's been the most rewarding part for me. Of course, playing in World Cups and winning championships and doing all that, but, to know that we've used our really special talent to do something, that's really like changed the world forever. I think that means the most to me, and the players in this locker room here, they're just getting started, and to all the players that I've played with, obviously, who know what it's like to be in the grind. That's the best part.
The best part, she says, Eric, about winning World Cups and stuff is about changing the world. She didn't change the world. She complained until people had enough of her that they just threw money at her. Oh, let's shut this girl up. Let's give them $30,000 each. We can afford it from the billions we make. And now she comes out. She's going to go to bed at night thinking that, she changed the world and she got equal pay, which it's still not equal because they don't make anywhere near as much as the men do for a reason. And you say, can we get one long-haired girl who doesn't look like Bill Nye the Science Guy? She doesn't. Let's get a girl that doesn't look like Jimmy Fallon. The reason why we can't do that, Eric, is because they have stuff to do. Megan Rapinoe doesn't have stuff to do when she goes home. She goes home. She probably gives a massage to a morbidly obese woman that's her girlfriend, and maybe she dabbles a little bit of veganism, maybe some crystals. She probably has a lot to do with her her astrology readings, probably flipping to the back of the newspaper still because she's old school. She doesn't have anything to do. People who look like Megan Rapinoe don't really have stuff to do, Eric. And that's the thing that we're missing here. You get blue hair because
she
you
kind of
want
looks
people...
like your Rick doll.
Like, that's fair. Yeah. People who have blue hair, just like people who have face tattoos, do it because they want you to look at them. This thing where everybody, we had to live through, where it's everybody to each their own, which of course is true, but everybody just does stuff because they like it. There is a reason why some people dye their hair blue. There is a reason why people, paint their face like a clown and get clown tattoos. It's because they want your attention and they're desperate for you to look at them and possibly have a problem with it so that they can complain about it. Oh, you're misjudging me based on what I look like. When you wake up in the morning and you think about how you want to present yourself to the world, whether it's a blue-haired soccer player, lesbian lady who, thinks that she should be paid for work she hasn't done, or you wake up in the morning, you're a guy who wants to wear a dress and thinks that nobody should have a problem with that, even though it's wildly irregular. It's because you want the attention and you want to have that battle. Without the battle in her life, Megan Rapinoe was just another soccer player who was attracted to the women on her team and probably made girls uncomfortable. But now, with the short hair, blue hair, and saying that they deserve more money than they actually get, she's become, this international superstar who goes on late night talk show and says Donald Trump's ruining the world. You see what I'm getting at? If I was to come on this podcast and be like, I say all this stuff, Eric, and I give my attention publicly because I don't actually want to be heard, you would be like, well, you're a crazy person. Why would you put a microphone in your face and then press publish on things if you didn't want people to hear what you have to say? And then I say, it'd be like Joe Rogan. If somebody has had, and I'm not comparing myself to him, but if somebody asked Joe Rogan and they said, you've had 100 billion / 3 trillion views on your podcasts, what is it that you think is your best accomplishment? And he goes, well, I've done MMA commentary, I've done stand-up comedy, and I've done billions of podcast views. But what I really take home is how I've changed the world and how I wanted people to look like me. And I didn't really want your attention from any of that. I didn't want anyone to listen to my podcast. I didn't want anyone to see my stand-up comedy. I just really wanted you to do what I tell you to do. But anything that I did beyond that, it just magically happened. When Megan Rapinoe is saying that she's glad that everybody listened to me, but she's bothered that she had to do some work while she was there. She's bothered that she had to play soccer to get you to listen to her. That's what I think she's saying, Eric.
Well, this kind of reminds me, maybe this is apples to oranges, but you mentioned that she wanted to get paid for doing work that she hasn't done yet, which reminds me, and maybe we can do a separate segment on this at a later date, but it reminds me of this tipping culture that's gone through the roof here. And this is actually the worst I've seen it, right? As time goes on. I mean, you're talking about going into a little restaurant, order at the counter, they call your name 10 minutes later, and they flip the iPad around on you and want 20, 30% tip. Which I think is like, I mean, yeah, if you want to, you should have the option, right? But it feels like they're pressuring you a little bit, right? Like, so Megan Rapinoe, whatever her name is, she's applying pressure for stuff that she didn't really do, but she's kind of making it, whatever, neither here nor there. She wants the attention. She claims she doesn't want the attention, but she changed the world, and it's all a completely big mess. But more importantly, just to bring it back, as bad as this sounds, okay, you would be much more likely to at least get me to pay attention to you if you didn't look like a weirdo. Like you look like you're going to be a pain in the ass. If you just looked like a normal person and had some opinions that were different from me, I'd be much more likely to at least listen to you. But you look on your, like Richie, right? I get it. You may be this stone cold Christian and you came from this, you came from that, you had a hard life. And I'm not saying that what you're saying is untrue. All I'm saying is your presentation, the way you look, makes me think a certain thing. And I don't think I'm wrong for that, right? Like, you would think something different about me if I didn't wear a t-shirt and a baseball cap, right? Like if I wore a rainbow shirt, you would think a certain thing. If I wore a three-piece suit, you would think a certain thing. So I'm a little bit more likely to at least hear you out if you didn't look like you were going to start screaming about climate change or racism or whatever it is. And it's like you see, like with Barbie, whatever, a couple of weekends ago when that opened in the theaters, right? Like, no matter how much they want to tell you that Lizzo is the new beauty standard and men can be women or whatever it is, you're going to make more money with hot chicks. It just is what it is, right? Like, no matter how much they try to change that, it's still the bottom line. Like, I think, I could be completely wrong, I'm no economist here, but you're much more likely to spend $20 on a movie ticket to see Margot Robbie and Ryan Gosling than Lizzo and Megan Rapinoe. This is a fact.
Turn it up, Jordan.